December 5th, 1945. 14:10 hours. 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers sit on the tarmac at Naval Air Station, Fort Lauderdale. The crews are experienced. The leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, has 2,500 flying hours. This is a routine navigation exercise. Navigation problem number 1. The weather is favorable. The planes are fueled for a 6-hour flight. On paper, there is no reason for concern. The first deviation, 1540 hours. The squadron should be completing its second leg, but a radio transmission is intercepted by a ground station. It's not a status report, it's a fragment of confusion. Lieutenant Taylor is heard telling his flight, "I don't know where we are. We must have got lost after that last turn." The ground controller calculates, if they are where they should be, they have the Florida coast to their west. He instructs Taylor to fly north. Taylor hesitates. He calculates his position based on a faulty premise. He believes he is over the Florida Keys, not the Bahamas. This single error creates a psychological patchwork of confusion. The breakdown of command, 16:15 hours. The voices on the radio change. The disciplined military chatter of a combat squadron begins to dissolve into a fluid zone of panic. Taylor's junior pilots believe they see land to the west. Taylor, convinced his compasses are broken, orders them to fly east, further into the open Atlantic. An American officer at the base watches the clock. He realizes Taylor is operating in a reality that doesn't match the map. He is leading 5 planes and 14 men into a void, not because of enemy fire, but because the context of their navigation has disappeared. The disorientation epidemic, 1700 hours. Darkness falls. The weather, previously clear, turns into a chaotic mix of rain and high winds. The squadron's fuel is now at 40%. On the radio, the pilots are arguing. One student pilot is heard saying, "If we would just fly west, we would get home." But Taylor, the commander, is locked in a tactical neutralization. He fears that flying west will only take them deeper into the Gulf of Mexico. He is a commander who has lost contact with his front line, the horizon. He orders his men to stay close. When the first man drops below 10 gallons, he says, "We all go down together." The search for the lost. 1927 hours. A TBM Mariner rescue plane takes off to find them. It is a flying gas tank carrying 13 crewmen. It disappears from radar within 20 minutes. No distress signal, no wreckage. Across the Florida coast, the pattern of disappearance without battle is now total. 6 planes, 27 men. The final calculation, 1904 hours. The last faint transmission is intercepted. It isn't a coordinate, it's a realization. The voices are weak, fading into the static of a worsening storm. They are no longer a squadron. They are isolated units in a sea that has moved past them. By 2000 hours, the fuel is gone. The mathematics reveal the finality of the situation. At 150 miles per hour in total darkness, with 50-foot waves below, the transition from active mission to historical mystery happens in a fraction of a second. The aftermath. The Navy launches one of the largest searches in history. They find nothing. No oil slicks, no life rafts. The Board of Inquiry concludes that Taylor was disoriented. The genius of this tragedy wasn't a supernatural force or a secret weapon. It was the speed of the collapse. When you can't trust your instruments, when you can't contact command, and when you no longer know where here is, the mission becomes a suicide. Like the German officers in 1945, Flight 19 didn't lose a battle. They simply found themselves in a world where their presence no longer served a purpose. Closing the war was over, but for the men of Flight 19, the disorientation of the battlefield never ended. They remain out there, somewhere between the map and the reality they couldn't find.